Hello and welcome back to the fourth episode now of the Sam Allardyce Challenge. My name is Josh and today we will be playing two further matches to try and get Brighton out of the relegation zone. If you didn't catch the last episode, I'd recommend you go back and watch it. We played through four games, one against Crystal Palace where we won 2-0 comfortably, but then three tough games away against Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City. In between now and then, I've actually played the game against Aston Villa. I know I said I'd come back for the Watford and West Ham game, but I just thought for this challenge there's not many games, so I'll just try and show you them all. So today we're going to focus on the Newcastle and Brentford game before moving on to the Watford and West Ham game probably tomorrow or in the next episode. But yes, as I say, last episode was a bit of a struggle. We played against three of the top four teams, or top four at the time, if we look at them. So Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, yeah, all in the Champions League spot. Struggled against Liverpool and Man City, or failed to score, didn't win any. And Arsenal, we actually went ahead twice, but got pegged back twice, so we only got a point. That game against Villa, that you can see there, actually resulted in us getting Mark Rocker sent off in the 90th minute, so we've now really not got a defensive midfielder. So might move away from the 4-1-2-1-2 system, which I've been using for the past. It's actually been since the end of the Liverpool game. You can see it's mixed results, so a decent draw against Arsenal, decent draw be it at home against Aston Villa, and then we got pummeled away from Man City. So for the game today, this is the team that I'm going to go for. We've got Sanchez in at goalkeeper, we've got Cucurella, Dunk, Webster and Lamptey at the back. These are my first choice back four. We've got Gross playing in that defensive midfield position just as a deep line playmaker, with Basuma and McAllister ahead of him. Lallana as the attacking midfielder behind Mopai and Alvarez up front. Really need to see more from these strikers up front. You can see the last five games for both of them, 6.32 for Mopai, 6.48 for Alvarez. The only issue is we haven't got anyone better on the bench. So we've got Welbeck, who's got a decent rating, but I've played him against Man City. He struggled 6.1. Didn't come on against Villa. We just don't have that prolific 20-25 goal a season striker, and that's really holding us back. So the top end of the field for the striker and the goalkeeper, as I mentioned in the last episode, are the two biggest weaknesses in this Brighton team. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do anything with it, with it being April. In fact, I actually might bring Trossard in actually instead of Mopai, just to give it something different. As I say, Mopai has been playing terribly, so try and take him out the team here. But yeah, this is a massive game now against Newcastle away from home. If we win it, we really do need to win it because we are falling behind. I think we played a game extra compared to the teams around us. We can probably have a quick look at the table before we actually start. So you can see here, yeah, we're on 30 points. 30 games played. Newcastle are the team in 17th, so they're the team currently that we're looking to catch. If we win this game, we go 3 points behind them. They will have a game in hand, so if they win that, they'll go 6 points clear. But with 8 games remaining, we really need to win this game to just hold on to the coattails of Newcastle and the likes of Norwich ahead of them. I don't think anyone in Burnley upwards is safe. So really, this is a must-win game, as is the home game against Brentford later on in this episode. But for now, we'll just crack on with this game. And again, we're in this Newcastle stadium. You can see their recent form, probably similar to ours if we have a quick look. Just one win in the last 5. Yeah, one win in our last 5. And so yeah, as I say, this is an absolutely must-win game. You can see with 7, after this we've only got 7 games remaining, and 3 of them are, I believe, against Chelsea, maybe Everton and Man United. So the chances of us picking up any points against those teams is minimal. In the last game that I played off camera against Aston Villa, it was a very boring 0-0. There was minimal highlights. Obviously, Mark Rocker got sent off. That was in the 90th minute for a dangerous challenge. He's actually being given a 3-game ban, I believe. Was Newcastle in save who just go ahead. I've spent, I believe it was about £220 million in the summer. You can see that some of the players that they've got: Guerrero from Borussia Dortmund. They've got, I'm trying to remember who they brought in. Oh, Gabriel Barbosa, Cole Palmer from Man City. Obviously, a few of these players were already purchased in real life. Mukiele in defence. So they have definitely strengthened. It's a bit of surprising to see them back in 17th. I was hopeful that we'd be able to make the most of their poor form. I mean, I know we're not in any better, but within 38 minutes, it's 2-0 up to Newcastle now, and it's already looking like a massive task to get back into this. I'm going to demand some more, try and get the team to actually show something. We can see we're actually ahead on match stats. We've got more shots on target, higher XG, but it's just Newcastle that have been able to take their chances. So at half-time it is 2-0. You can see we've done a terrible team talk there. I'm actually going to change things up. We've created nothing in this tactics. I'm actually going to try and go back to the 4-3-3 one that we had earlier. just move these players about. So Trossard as the inside forward. If we take Lallana off and bring Cabral on, Lallana's been playing okay, but just need someone different. Lewis Dunk's struggling. Alvarez is staying on because I'm just not going to bring on Mopai. McAllister can go to the Mazzala role. Actually, no, probably keep him as the advanced playmaker. Gross has moved him to a ball-winning midfielder role, and just hope that we can actually create something in the second half, grab a goal back, and hopefully push on from there. So we start the second half. It's been a difficult time. So you can see Newcastle are just have jumped up ahead of Norwich, so they'd be the next team, but they've got 2 games in hand. We really do need to get something. I mean, even just a point. Otherwise, I think it's already more or less confirmed that we're going to be relegated. And it's just balls like that. It's just we just don't have the ability in the squad. We just can't play it. We beat the likes of Norwich and Crystal Palace and looked good against those teams. I mean, they are poor defensively, so you hope that we would score a couple of goals against them. But then against other teams in and around us, so this Newcastle game we played against. I'm not sure if we played anyone else really around us, but we have had a tough run in as well, and it looks like Newcastle are going to go in. No, but Willock just plays the ball over the top. So yeah, we have had a bit of a tough run, but nothing like those games against Southampton at home, particularly where they went down to 10 men so early on and we failed to get a result or failed to get 3 points at least. And the game against Villa just before this episode, and now we got Lewis Dunk giving the ball straight to Gabriel Barbosa, whose shot is tipped over by Sanchez, and it's just really difficult to know what to do at this point. It's just 3-0. So now our morale's going to go through the floor. I'm going to give them a quick berate. 3-0 down away at Newcastle, who started the day in 17th position. We're in 19th. This should be a tight game. You can see they're playing 5 at the back. I just don't think I can bring myself to play that. Normally our defence is okay. You know, we only conceded 1 against Liverpool. Didn't concede anything against Palace, Norwich, or Villa. Um, Lewis Dunk is having an absolutely shocking game. It's the second time he's given the ball away and let a Newcastle player go through one-on-one. But this time, again, Callum Wilson couldn't make the most of it. I'm actually going to take him off. He's been frustrating me today. Bring on Eric Garcia in his place. And then Alvarez, just another one to add to the constant list of strikers who are playing terribly. So that's another 6.1 today. I don't know what it is with Brighton strikers. It doesn't matter who is playing in that position. They just can't score a goal. They can't get involved in the game. And that was a corner for us, but headed away and it's picked up by Trossard here. He's not really been playing that much in the recent game, obviously with the change in formation to 4-1-2-1-2. Probably this change back to the 4-3-3 will allow him to be more involved. And Uvain again on the other side, who scored in the last episode. I can't remember who it was against. Lamptey now has the ball out to Bazuma and now to Gross, through to McAllister, and a lovely ball through to... Oh my god. I don't know what's happened there. That is terrible. You know when they say, oh, that's excellent football all round? This is the opposite. This is terrible football all round. So McAllister, this is nice. So Trossard through to Welbeck, who somehow gets there ahead of the keeper, but then manages to miss another open goal before Lascelles passes it just to Trossard to tap into an empty net. And well, it's 3-1 now. I mean, we're not going to get back into this. We'll go with very attacking just in case. And you can see those match stats. They show that perhaps we should have got more from this game. So I can't be really too disappointed. Obviously, that XG is just massive from the goal chance. And yeah, we didn't get the result we wanted, but we should all be happy. If we create that many chances often, it doesn't feel nice to say that because I'm going to say it's disappointing that we didn't win considering we were on top and had lots of chances. So a couple of players seemed a bit demotivated, but what can we do? So we've got 7 games left, and hopefully some of these teams will play in the... No, it doesn't look likely. Well, look, maybe there'll be 1 game is played in the midweek. We'll have a quick look at that now. So there's a few games midweek, not many. I don't know if it doesn't look like Norwich play. They play tomorrow. But hopefully by the time we come back for the next game against Brentford, it'll be a bit clearer where we sit in the table. And so we'll be back for the Brentford game now. So we're back now for the Brentford game, and you can see that we've changed the formation up and changed a couple of the personnel. So Adam Webster is actually a little injured, so he's not going to be able to play, so he's replaced by Garcia. Basuma's going to play in that defensive line playmaker role, just behind the midfield of Pascal Gross and McAllister. He's going to keep his place. And then just to get Trossard back in the team, he's going to play, as I say, mentioned the 4-3-3. He's going to play on the left, Cabral playing on the right, and with Welbeck up front as a pressing forward because of his high work rate and the poor form of both Alvarez and Mopai. So yeah, this one really now is a must win. I said I'd look at the league table just before we started, so I'll do that now. And you can see we're, what's that, 8 points behind Norwich, who have got a game in hand. We really need to win this. It's almost, if we don't win this, and if Norwich win their, say we don't win this, do Norwich play now? They play against home against Newcastle, so expect them to get a good result. So if they go up to 35 and we'd stay on 24, we'd be 11 points behind with 5 games to go, and that's just not possible. So as I said, mentioned in the last episode, it's likely that we're going to start this series off as we mean to go on with a failure. But obviously, not going to tell my players that. I'm going to tell them that we are going to encourage them, pump the fists. These fans turn up through thick and thin. Remember that as you go out there today. Don't think it's going to make any difference considering we haven't got any fans in the stadium. It's back like COVID times again. So yeah, as you can see, it looks likely that these 3 teams, so us, Palace and Watford, are going to be the 3 that get relegated. I can't see anything really happening to change that, unless we go win all our last remaining 7 games, which seems very unlikely considering we haven't won 7 games in the 30 games combined beforehand. But the ball's out here now with Brentford, who play the ball around neatly on the floor. Through to their right back, and we just need to close someone down, but they managed to get the ball in. It's gone through to Ivan Toney, who crosses it back in, and Brentford are 1-0 up. And that's just typical. There's not really much we can do to prevent that. I mean, there's a lot we can do to prevent it, but there's nothing really that I can do with our defence. So it's through out now to Stacey, who plays the ball in. It's a deep cross that Tony picks up, plays it in, and Kanyos is just unmarked. I don't know who Kukurea is picking up it. He's too late, and Kanyos, by the time he jumps up, Kanyos has already headed it in. And you can see it's been a decent start. Hopefully now with this corner we can pick up a response, but no, the ball's headed away out to Trossard. And this isn't really the type of challenge that I normally play when I play Football Manager. It's just a introductory to get me used to like YouTube and uploading videos and stuff. Normally I just do like long form, stick with long form as if this is art or something, or writing. Normally I just do like I pick a team to go from the say 10th division through to the first division, so it's through to the Premier League and maybe even win the Champions League, something like that. So probably that's what we'll do for the next series, is have a story of trying to take someone, nothing too original, like all the main Football Manager YouTubers do something similar where they take a small team and try and bring them through as um, to world champions. And so that's what I do in my spare time normally when I play with Football Manager on my own. I at the moment I've got a Kings Lynn save as were my local team when I grew up, local non-league team. Um, oh, we've actually scored a goal. That's a brilliant finish. But yeah, so normally I play more long, like 10, 12, 15 seasons. I generally prefer to play when it's overtaken by regens. I don't know why. It's just for me, it adds that element of not having to rely on your own football knowledge. So obviously, with being a Premier League, that is support Norwich primarily, being a Premier League football team supporter, I would not recognise most of these players like Lamptey, Garcia, Dunk, Cucurella. I know them all, Basuma, Sanchez, um, and that kind of gives a prejudice in your mind when you're searching, especially in the first few seasons when you're searching for new players to buy, that they are um, that those are names that you recognise. So you either tend to favour or um, go against those players. Um, Whereas when it's regens, you've got to really use your scouting, your scouts, you can't rely on that knowledge to pick players up, and you can't like search for, oh, I know this guy Sesko, for example, was an amazing wonder kid. Let me pick him up in his second year because you've never heard, like, he doesn't exist anymore. He's 35 years old. He's playing for, club in China on £200,000 a week. Because by the time you've taken your Kings Lindsay from the, what is it, eighth tier of football or seventh tier of football through to um, the Premier League, most of these players are either like in their 30s, so really not that appetizing to buy, or they are or retired. So regions then take over, and it makes it a bit more interesting. You can create your own like storylines with them. They haven't got um, the real life background of the players. But as I waffle on aimlessly, it's actually Brentford who have gone back ahead, and it's Ivan Toney who, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't rate very highly in real life. I don't see him. There's some players out there, some people out there rate him very highly and say, oh, he's like when especially when he's in the Championship that he was, I don't know, like you hear Arsenal fans saying, oh, we should buy Ivan Toney. It's like, well, he scored about three open in the Premier League this season in real life. He scored about 3 goals from open play. The other ones are just from penalties and free kicks and whatnot. We're actually going to make some subs here. I don't like any of these plays that are coming on, but needs must. The one with tired legs out there. We're actually going to go a bit more attacking if we actually remember to resume. But yeah, Ivan Toney, I'm not a big fan of in real life. Neither am I a big fan of Eric Garcia, but he's in my team. I think he's a bit overrated, or was, especially when he was at Manchester City. But you can see once again, it's just our strikers. We just can't finish. This is Brighton's problem in real life. We've had about 12 shots on target compared to Brentford's 5, and yet we're 2-1 down. 3-1 down, should I say. I don't know what's happened there. It looks like Eric Garcia, true to real form of being not very good in real life, has just missed this completely. We'll see what goes on here. So Stacey plays it out to Silva, plays it back to Stacey, who just whips a pretty hopeful ball in. Eric Garcia misses his header, and then Bueno, however that's pronounced, is there at the back post, and I'm pretty sure that just guarantees relegation now. So yeah, Norwich are 3-0 up at home to Newcastle. We'll do the maths at the end of this episode, and it's just had to rub salt into the wounds we miss from a corner. We'll do the maths, as I say, from at the end of the episode, but just looking at that, with 9 points adrift with 5 games to go, we're going to have to pray for a miracle, and I don't see that being very likely. So our next game is actually away against Watford. So maybe even though we might not survive, it'd be nice to finish, 18th rather than 19th, get that extra bit of prize money for Brighton. But as it is, you can see we are actually currently, yeah, so we're 9 points adrift of Newcastle, who have got a game in hand. If they win that, they'll go 12 points clear, and will leave us needing to win all our games and Newcastle to lose basically all of theirs. 6 games remaining, so there is still 18 points to play for, so we're not mathematically down yet. Crystal Palace may as well be there. 15 points is it behind with 6 games left. So if Newcastle win their game, Palace will be down. We are only 1 point behind Watford, who are in terrible form. You can see the last 5 games for all 3 of us in the relegation zone is terrible. West Ham as well are playing poorly. I think they may actually come up soon, but I don't. They obviously got enough points on the board already to not be worried about relegation. So for the next episode, we're actually going to come back for the next 2 games, because obviously that could guarantee whether we're able to stay up or get relegated. So they're away against Watford on next Saturday, and then the following game against West Ham. So 2 games, which if you look at the current recent form, you would hope that we'd stand a chance in at least. I don't see it going particularly favourably, but we never know. So that will be in the next episode. But if you've enjoyed this video today, then please feel free to leave a like or subscribe if you're, again, a bit crazy. I know I was kind of waffled on in that second game particularly, so I didn't really discuss the game against Brentford. I was too depressed to even discuss it. That change to 4-3-3 really didn't work. But yeah, as I say, if you've enjoyed that, then please leave a like, and I will see you next time for the next video.